Okay, how often should I vary the exercises I'm doing? How many different exercises should I do? It's a great question, and one that's really important to understand. I'm all for variety, right? Because we're always dealing with the psychology of people training. And at the end of the day, look, we're not robots. Like, it has to be fun, it has to be interesting, and that's where a lot of the need, I think, for variety comes from. Because in reality, when you look like deep into the science, we don't need to vary the actual exercises very much. I don't even think it's necessarily a great idea, because the better you get in an exercise, the more comfortable you get with an exercise, the more you can really get into that, I hate the mind-muscle connection, but essentially that's what it is. You become better at manipulating the exercise the way you want it. For instance, if you've done 1,000,000 deadlifts, you really start digging into what everything feels like. You can engage and recruit more muscle fibers, relatively speaking, and you're gonna get a lot more out of the exercise because you're more efficient at doing it, so you can load it heavier, all those good things. So things to manipulate, what we really recommend is not necessarily the exercises themselves, but things like tempo of the exercise. A 5-second eccentric feels a lot different than a 1-second eccentric. Rep scheme, obviously, 50 squats and 5 squats are totally different. Obviously, the appropriate loading. The loading itself, the method of loading. So maybe we add band resistance for some more progressive resistance. We use a different implement. Manipulating rest periods, longer rest, shorter rest. Add 2 exercises together, something like a complex. So we're doing an exercise right into another exercise. All these things are much better ways to get variety from your training, but not necessarily need 1,000,000 exercises. Because here's the reality, there's only so many good exercises. And there's only so many exercises that you as a person can do efficiently, especially as you get older. So there's things that are just not gonna feel great. So it's more about probably eliminating stuff that you realize doesn't feel great, and then figuring out other ways to manipulate exercises that really fit well with you, your body, your training goals, and all that fun stuff. And that being said, there's reasons to use a lot of these quote unquote special exercises to target a specific area, whether it's for rehab, whether it's performance, or whether it's just purely aesthetic. When you get into more advanced physique training, then yes, we need to really attack certain muscle groups with a lot of very specialized exercises. But in reality, for most people, get good at a few basic things, a few basic movements, figure out the ones you like doing, because that's important, the ones that fit well with your body, and then manipulate the other variables, not just the exercises themselves. Change your rep scheme, change your exercise, Change your exercise tempo. I'm gonna edit that whole thing out. Change your exercise tempo. I'm gonna leave it in, actually. Change your exercise tempo, manipulate how you're loading it, add a band, change your rest periods. Something like rest pause is an awesome thing that we can use a lot, where we stop for a second and then go right back into it, get a little more burn. Play with those things first, and then every once in a while cycle exercise. But when we're designing programs for our clients, we honestly like to find things that they do really well with, a few basic main staples. And by the way, this goes for the diet as well. It's a whole different topic, but find things that you're good at and just manipulate those and have fun and get results at the end of the day.